Happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel. It's Deborah here. I'm your energy intuitive and energy healer on Vancouver Island in Canada. And I welcome you just to sit back and relax to this week's Oracle message. Okay, remembering that my words and my voice actually hold frequency, and you can benefit from that if you're just in a state of acceptance and allowance. There are real opportunities for growth in the weeks and months ahead. So, what are you focusing on? How much of a distraction, or how many distractions are you pointed towards, as opposed to really feeling into the things that, one, need your attention, and two, really light you up? You've come to the planet at this time to help with the planet's ascension. That means you're here for your energy, for your unique angelic coding. You've come here to help rise. You've come here to help raise. You've come here to spread peace on the planet, to be a helper, to spread the light, to stay positive, but also to tell the truth. So just remembering, feet flat on the ground, just remembering, trying to reconnect with your purpose here as an earth angel. I know we are in very challenging times. You may be going through extreme like financial difficulty, or people are experiencing especially a lot of problems with their mates and their partners, their family members. And that has to do with the times that we are in. We are in times of great transformation now and a cleansing on the planet, where you will see people's destructive patterns really coming to the surface now because they need to be acknowledged and changed or let go of. And so people are really in it right now. They're in the 4D shadow. Okay, they're becoming, this is their vehicle to becoming more awake. It's like how many of us awakened. We were faced with the shadow and realized that it was our job to switch this, to kind of heal ourselves out of it, to stop certain patterns. Some of us remembered that we are meant here to be a beacon of light on the planet, and maybe we had become dulled. Our light had become dimmed from being on such a dense planet with so much darkness and so much abuse that's been going on here for millennia. A really, really long time, right? So we had to spend time looking at ourselves, changing our own patterns, really, really being honest in order to change direction or change our path. So we were very certain about what team we are aligning with now in these times, right? There's the angelic team or the fallen angels, or, are you going to indulge in destructive patterns or in patterns that help your own growth and help contribute to the goodness of humankind, to make our society better, right? And you might feel like you're just a drop in the ocean, but you don't realize like how much of a ripple effect we actually all really have, especially those of us that are working in the higher frequency ranges now, that we've cleared a lot of patterns. Okay, our dreaming, like our ability to wish, our intentions, and our energy really ripple out very, very profoundly. And you'll know this because you'll see how much faster your manifestations are right now. You can wish for something silently and watch as that happens. You can focus on someone that you love by either sending them energy or focusing on their positive aspects and watch them change. We have so much more power than we are told that we have. So just coming back in to the center, finding your center line. So it's important that we don't get overtaken by our addictions right now and distractions. Okay, technological distractions or distractions in the news, right? I really pared back from watching the news. Now I get my headlines from my husband just so I have my finger on the pulse. But I'm just a very sensitive person, and I find that it's easy for me to kind of get hooked into those fear mongering frequencies in the media. Although I clearly know and I can see through like what's going on, I still tend to like pick up on those frequencies, and it can make me anxious. So if you're someone like that, then you might need to like just take a step back from the news or get your news through a second source, right? But trying not to allow yourself to be overcome by these distractions and diversions when really now it's time for us to do the work that we came here to do. We've spent all this time working on clearing our own bullshit, to delete our karma, um, and to come more into like our purity of who we really are, stripped bare of any kind of darkness we might have picked up here on this planet just from being here, right? So stepping into that role of, staying very focused on what we want to see manifest in the world, walking the talk, being ourselves authentically through and through all of the layers. What you say, what you feel must be acted out in the real world. You can't say one thing and do another anymore. There's very little wiggle room, and you're going to be ineffective. Not only are you going to be susceptible to um, intrusions and those other kind of energies that just make your life a bit more challenging than they need to be. Okay, but when you're not acting in alignment with who you really are, then you're not effective in doing the work that you're meant to do here as an angelic human. Okay, because it's very purifying to tell people the truth. It doesn't mean we need to be harsh about it, although sometimes that is what's required. Uh, Sagittarius here, so like that's been a lesson for me, is trying to learn how to um, speak in a way that doesn't just turn people right off or rub them the wrong way too much. But it's still like it's my calling as an angelic being to tell the truth. Okay, and that's very purifying. It purifies illusions. It can help bring people back into alignment. So, just kind of focusing here on yourself for a moment. What are your unique gifts that you bring? Are you one of those purifiers that you hold people to a higher standard of accountability? Are you a truth teller? Are you a mirror for other people's patterns? You might even notice that people are like kind of losing their shit in front of you more, right? That has to do with your vibration. So the more you are living your truth and the more you're kind of that force of authenticity, then the more you will actually reflect other people's realities to them and their truth to them. And so people will start to kind of, they might like get triggered in front of you, or you'll see their most destructive patterns. That has to do with you are helping to bring all that stuff up to the surface and reflect it back so that they can see what is happening, and then they have the choice of what to do about that. So it's a very different kind of, it's modeling. It's not really teaching. You know how it doesn't work when we come here and we first wake up and we try and spread our message and tell everybody, oh, don't do that, do this, and no one's listening. This is a much more effective way. We just mirror um, the truth back to people. It's a very subtle way. It can be very subtle, and then it allows for grace. It allows for them to take that on themselves, to show up authentically and make decisions that they need to make. So for this week ahead, there might be some diversions in the news, right? There's been some talk about the president of Iran going down in a helicopter crash and what that could mean in terms of our political situation, right? Like right away, they're forming a narrative that they want you to start to feed into World War III, right? We have to pull back and say, well, we don't know that that's what could happen, right? We need to, our job as the peacekeepers here is to really like maintain our footing and not get drawn into these narratives that can essentially take our energy to manifest a plan that we don't even want to see happen. Instead, say, well, wait a minute, that might not go that way. There could be room for divine intervention where um, there's a space for an alternative solution to come through. So let's all just take a minute now to focus on that. Okay, we're just going to create some space in ourselves. Trying to tune into that inner peace that you all have inside. When you are operating more from the fulcrum of your higher self or your multidimensional self, there is a lot less anxiety and you can tap into this peace a lot more. And just a desire for the world for more compassion, for no harm, for peaceful solutions, for change, for the possibility for us to break away from these patterns as human beings, these patterns of going to war and bloodshed and violence, for us to break away from that. That's the desire here. So tuning into that. Just spending some time here and focusing on what matters. This is the work we are here to do, not to get caught up in these narratives and feed that other machine of destruction on the planet. Unhooking from the destruction, coming back to your light, the wish for humankind to find peace, peaceful solutions, to act more humanely. Generating frequencies of peace and love for you to help attune to and feel within yourself. Remembering that you, as a powerful, multidimensional being, your desires count on this planet. So, tuning into your desire for more peace, for peaceful solutions, tuning into your desire for something not to happen, for us not to go to war, saying no, especially within us, and expressing this to the people in your families and your networks, because that can be very purifying and help to align those around you with like a higher kind of order on the planet. It's a different kind of morality of what is right and wrong. It is not obviously right to be killing our brothers and sisters through bloodshed. It's not right for us to be doing that anymore as human beings. Like, when will we learn? So it's important for us to speak up about these things. Okay, Okay, so just remembering what you came to the planet to do. You're here to hold a certain frequency, a certain vibration of peace and compassion, and also of happiness and joy or enjoyment. These are beautiful frequencies that help to uplift others and the planet. It helps with the ascension so that we can all get on this higher timeline where there is peace on earth eventually. Okay, we're creating a higher timeline for our future generations as well. It might not be something that we see tomorrow, but we have to begin now. Just like those who came before us, the indigos and our ancestors who were in alignment, who they knew what the correct way to live was, and they lived that way before us and made it easier for us to awaken. We are all setting the groundwork for future generations to live at a higher frequency with more love and compassion and in correct alignment with like a higher morality. We are the peacekeepers, the light bringers, the change makers, the pioneers for a new way of life on this planet. You came here with that frequency, with those codes to be completely different. And that's why you've always felt that you never fit in, because you are different. And you've come here to retain that difference and to shine it out and spread it. Connecting more with your own angelic essence. And I've talked about this before. Angels are not wusses. They're not pushovers. They're here to speak the truth and to stand up for what is correct and to live in a certain way that's really in alignment with their beliefs. That's what we do as angels. It's not all just like fuzzy wuzzy and warm and cuddly all the time. Sometimes we have to do the hard things. We have to be the ones to say no. We have to be the ones who are boundaried to take a stand. And that's why we do that in our personal lives too. We are becoming more angelic, more fierce. And we are like the forces of truth and alignment on this planet. We are helping to align our communities through our own unique vibrations. So the more aligned we become, the more impact we make in the world. Changing the world one person at a time from the inside out, right? And that's you. You are changing the world by how you are embodying more of your angelic presence here. All right, so just a little calibration for you all today. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed your message. We'll see you again in the next video. Take care now.